Good evening. Meeting of the Mashpee Planning Board, Wednesday, August 4th, 2021, in the Wacoit Meeting Room, Mashpee Town Hall, 16 Great Neck Road North, Mashpee, Mass. 02649. It is 7 o'clock. Broadcast live on Channel 18, call-in conference number 508-539-1400, extension 8585. Stream live on the Town of Mashpee website, mashpeema.gov/channel-18. I ask everyone to please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. First on the agenda, review of the meeting minutes from July 21st, 2021. We have a chance to review. Any questions, comments, edits?
None for me.
Nope,
I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
so be.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We gotta wait till 7:10.
Yeah, jump around the agenda if you can, Mr. Chair.
Okay. You know what, let's go to new business. Vote to set public hearing date for an application made by DPF Mashpee LLC to modify an approved special permit dated May 2nd, 2001, to construct a 4,860 square foot commercial building for retail sales in the development known as South Cape Village.
Okay, yeah.
I put a draft public hearing notice in the packet and recommend a public hearing date of September 1st? Is it
No,
1st?
third, I think it was.
Is it the third?
September 1st.
Oh, for-
Wednesday, September 1st,
Yeah.
7:10. Unless, John, we might want to have a conversation about meeting times, because the clerk still has it at 6, and I don't want to have them set a public hearing, you guys set a public hearing date
At
and
7.
not have general consensus about when to start meetings moving forward.
Yep. So we have started, in this process of the most recent meetings, we have started meetings at 6, 6:30 and 7. Wondering if there's a preference?
I'm okay with earlier, but
Yeah, I gotta start at 7.
I like, I mean, I like
Sometimes
seven.
I have another meeting before this.
7 it is.
So
And
I,
then if we have
Something
big
special, I'll
projects,
come in, you know.
yeah, when we have big projects, I'd
Yeah,
like
same.
starting earlier, but just our regular meetings where we're not having big projects in front of us.
Everybody good?
Thank you.
so with that, I'd ask for the board to vote to set the public hearing date September 1st, 2021 at 7:10.
Make a motion to start public hearing for September 1st at 7:10. What's this?
DPF Mashpee LLC.
Oh, yeah. DPF Mashpee LLC.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good. All right, let's go to, well, these are usually quick. How about the committee reports? Cape Cod Commission.
Okay, so, Cape Cod Commission, their next meeting is Thursday, August 12th at 3 o'clock, and they don't put out their agenda till really 48 hours before. So I was thinking of sending them to Evan, and then he can send them out to us. I'd like to kind of keep track of that a little bit. And then the Cape Cod Climate Action Plan was approved by the Cape Cod Commission on July 22nd, 2021. And the plan targets the region's highest emitting sectors, transportation and energy, and strategies to apply more broadly support successful implementations to reduce our carbon footprint on the Cape. So that's my report for the Cape Cod Commission.
Community Preservation.
Arden Cadron was appointed by the Board of Selectmen as a member at large to the CPC.
Design Review.
No meeting.
Plan Review.
No meeting.
Environmental Oversight, actually, the meeting is next week. Historic District.
No, but was there a meeting today?
I sent you an email today to seek everyone's consensus on a public hearing date in mid-September for new signage and a fence at the former Cape Cod Coffee facility, now Solar Rising, right there at
Right.
348 Main Street. So if you're available. and
Oh,
any of
yeah,
the
any
dates,
day, just,
So we'll,
I
I'll
got
follow.
the email at 10 o'clock, when I looked at them, they're meeting at 10:30.
No, we'll follow up with you with specifics. It won't be till September.
Okay, yeah. So there is a meeting coming up.
Yes, upcoming meeting.
Military Civilian Advisory Council.
No meeting.
All right. Evan, do you have is it solar energy systems?
Yeah, so let's see, last town meeting, petitioner representing property owner on 151 submitted petition articles relative to the creation of a solar energy systems overlay district to enable the deployment of medium and large-scale solar energy systems. It's based off of the draft that I had proposed to the board, and the board had submitted to the selectmen, and then the selectmen did not put it on the warrant. So that's kind of the nexus here. Last town meeting, the board found that the petition was inadequate as to form and did not put the petition articles on the warrant. They've been resubmitted. There are a couple minor changes. The selectmen have asked me to be at their meeting on Monday, the 9th. I prepared a memo for the selectmen relative to the petition articles. At our next meeting, I'll ask the chair to put on the agenda to probably set a public hearing date for the review of those petition articles. And I'll provide the planning board with the same memo that I've provided to the selectmen at our next meeting also, so you have that to review. So that's the update. I just want you to be aware that they have been resubmitted. They are seemingly accurate as to form, so they will be on the warrant. And I have provided a written report to the selectmen that I will also provide to you, and that in the coming months, probably mid-September, the board will hold its mandatory public hearing relative to those solar zoning articles.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask Evan a question?
Sure.
Is that the only zoning article on the warrant?
That is my knowledge, yes.
Okay, anything else? Any questions for Evan?
The changes, anything that we need to be thinking about?
For the zoning articles,
Yeah.
the solar articles, there are a couple, there's a couple of changes. Notably, I'm just trying to think back to my written memo because it's not in front of me. One of the articles is not necessarily relative to the creation of a solar energy systems overlay district. It's actually kind of in recognition of some limitations that our definitions of structure and lot coverage have in the zoning bylaw, specifically limitations regarding the deployment of carport solar. We kind of look at the carports as roof-mounted panels on a structure supporting those panels. Roof-mounted panels are allowed by right in all of our districts. What the petitioner proposes, because lot coverage in Mashpee is measured by the cross-section of structures on a lot. So you have your building, if you were to, say, have a building that covers 15% of the lot, so you have 5% lot coverage remaining, and you have a massive approved parking area, you couldn't deploy panels across the whole parking area because you're limited by the definition of lot coverage. So they propose to exempt roof-mounted panels for carports from that lot coverage maximum. And similarly, for projects that require a special permit from the planning board, they propose giving the planning board the authority to set a site-specific lot coverage maximum for solar panels. Because if you remember, the same lot coverage maximum applies on all lots in all districts. So if you were to have a massive parcel, say the 40-acre parcel where the solar energy systems overlay is proposed, you can still only cover that with 20%. You can only cover 20% of the lot with structures. So the language includes the ability for the board to consider site-specific issues to maximize essentially the energy production of the panels while being responsive to not being detrimental to sensitive areas of a site, like within wetlands buffers or habitat or you name it. So those are really the notable differences. And that's essentially it. That's the big difference is relative to lot coverage and the definition of structures.
Thank you.
Evan, can I just chime in?
Sure.
Now, you say, 20% of a lot is buildable. Now, that's typically, a building like this or a parking lot, that's impervious to the underlying land.
Yes.
The solar farm or whatever that I've seen or that we have at the landfill.
Yes.
Basically allows rain to hit the ground.
That's correct, yeah.
So it's a different, to me, it's a different classification of a building.
You're not wrong, Rob, but what we're getting at is the way the zoning bylaw defines a structure makes the cross-section of the panel, so the whole
Right.
area of the panel contribute to the lot coverage, not just the piece that's in the ground. So that's a limitation to deploy certain types of solar, especially ones where we say we want to focus solar energy on already disturbed areas, paved surfaces, for example, where, if you don't have any available lot coverage or, additional area to place structures, you won't really be able to deploy such a use unless we either change the structure, definition of structure itself, or create an exemption in the bylaw for the type of use that may or may not be beneficial, but we can discuss that in a public hearing.
Okay, John.
Good. Any other questions? Good, thank
We
you,
can open
Evan.
a public hearing.
Yep. It's a little late, 7:12. We're going to open the public hearing. The applicant, Longfellow Design Build, location 9 Shellback Way, 647 Falmouth Road, Route 28, requesting a special permit to construct a 12,500 square foot commercial building to be used for retail grocery sales on a 1 acre plus or minus parcel located at property addressed as 9 Shellback Way, Mashpee, Massachusetts 02649. This application is made pursuant to sections 174-24C 1 and under section 174-25E1 and 174-25E2. This proposal triggers a mandatory referral to the Cape Cod Commission for review as a development of regional impact.
John, can I clarify something real quick?
Yes.
There's a typo in this. The parcel is 4 acres, plus or minus?
4.
Not 1. So sorry for any confusion that may have
That's a-
provided.
Actually,
That's a-
I thought it was bigger.
It's 4 acres, plus or minus, but I just want to clarify that for the record.
Thank you. And in your packet, we have a
Request.
letter requesting a continuance to the public hearing for the following meeting, August 18th.
So just to be clear, they're asking us to continue this to the next meeting for the purposes of their statutory timelines for them following a referral to submit their application to the Cape Cod Commission, and the applicant's not prepared to submit that application, so they're requesting the board continue till the next meeting and delay referring to the commission until the next meeting, so that they have adequate time to sufficiently prepare their application materials to the commission. So that's just the background.
I make a motion, we continue this public hearing until August 18th at 7:10.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, Chairman's report, I just have a couple of things. First of all, I'd like to clarify the history on public comment at planning board meetings. For the record, since the first presentation on June 2nd, this board has provided the opportunity for public comment at every meeting that Mashpee Commons has presented at, except the meeting on July 21st. Prior to June 2nd, the planning board had not provided a public comment beyond what's required as part of a public hearing in over 3 years. That's 73 meetings without general public comment. At our meeting on July 7th, the board agreed that the meeting on the 21st would be focused exclusively on an educational presentation from Mashpee Commons regarding broad concepts relative to the Community Activity Center Overlay District, setbacks, lot coverage, density, and building height. And it was the consensus of this board that there would be no discussion related to the proposed zoning bylaw. So to be clear, we've provided the opportunity for public comment at every meeting Mashpee Commons has presented at, except the meeting on the 21st, which was educational in nature. I would like to apologize to those who came to our meeting on the 21st to listen and learn more about the proposed Community Activity Center Overlay District. Unfortunately, some in attendance were intent on interrupting, distracting, and disrupting the presentation. Their behavior was disappointing, to say the least. I'm hopeful going forward, people will abide by the guidelines we've set forth, namely, speakers don't repeat themselves or comments that were already made, stay to the topic being discussed, and stay within a 2-minute time frame. We've been pretty liberal with those guidelines, and we will continue to be because we understand that this is a topic of high interest. I'm hopeful going forward, people will abide by the guidelines and everyone will be respectful, courteous, and kind. Civil conversation, debate, and discussions are encouraged and appropriate. Disrespectful and disruptive behavior is not. Those intent on distracting and disrupting our work will be asked to leave, as those who encourage outbursts and disruption. Lastly, I encourage everyone to learn the facts about the proposed Community Activity Center Overlay District. There's a lot of misleading, inaccurate, and deceptive information out there. I urge you to go to the Town of Mashpee website. Evan's department has posted every presentation that's available, along with supplemental information. There's also a lot of information on the Cape Cod Commission website and the Mashpee Commons website. That's where people will get the facts. The residents of Mashpee expect us to be fair and unbiased, to listen and learn with an open mind, to respectfully discuss and debate the facts, and to ultimately propose the best plan for the entire community. And the entire community deserves nothing less. Thoughts, comments?
Just for the record, this is Mary Wagan. Just for the record, I was not in consensus to not have public comment on June 21st.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
Oh,
Pretty
well said.
clear? Thank you. I don't have anything else. Any business anybody has to bring to the board?
Do not?
Nope, I make a motion, we
I
adjourn.
would like to bring
Okay.
something to the board. So last week, I went, I think it was this week or last week? I went to the Board of Selectmen.
Last week.
I just want to clarify that because of the request that I had made of the Cape Cod Commission on June 20th, when we had a joint meeting with the Board of Selectmen, there had been a request to the Cape Cod Commission. It was an open meeting. It was a public records request by the chair of the Board of Selectmen, from what I understand. She forwarded those materials to me, and I asked her to forward them, to put them on the website and to forward them to the planning board.
I believe they're in the packet.
It looks as though the traffic study is here,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but there should be more.
more.
Well, what's the traffic study, though?
It's a memo. Evan, I'll deal with it.
No, I just wanted to.
It's a memorandum from VHB regarding the scope of work for the traffic study. But there's more documents,
Add up to me.
so I don't know where those are.
The reason you only have the traffic study in your packet is because we emailed you the whole filing, and every other document in that packet you have been provided, so I didn't want to print it all again.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So the packet that you sent includes the traffic study and all the other information that we've already received. That's why the only thing
And
in
it's
the
already on the
packet-
website.
Right, and that's why the only thing in the package is the traffic study.
So this traffic study was done this year?
No, it's a memo. It's a memo
From 2018.
regarding the parameters for the traffic
Because
study.
when I was looking at the numbers, they don't add up right.
They don't add up right.
Yeah,
Yeah, the traffic pattern.
Evan explained this to me
I can
earlier.
opine on this just a little bit based on my cursory understanding of what I think is being perceived as inconsistencies in the numbers proposed and the density numbers proposed in the zoning itself, and then what you're reading as part of the traffic study. And I think it gets at the heart of the purposes of a development agreement itself, whereas we don't have a site plan with specific buildings laid out, with uses identified, and a fully designed project.
All right.
And I've alluded to this a little bit before. By way of the development agreement process, we need to discuss and identify various thresholds for development where additional study is going to be required. Such as for traffic, as we begin to build thresholds for neighborhoods, assuming we get to that point, there'll be laid out of streets, intersections to be designed, and more accurate density calculations where that can actually be studied. At this stage in the game, you have to start somewhere for the purposes of study. You have to start with some scope. Until we're at a point where there's a completely designed project and there's actual data to review and receive, I think it's just somewhat disingenuous to imply that the numbers as proposed were intentionally misleading or otherwise. I would probably invite the Commons to elaborate on this themselves, because I'm making certain assumptions myself. But that, from a professional understanding of how this gets rolled out, is my understanding of why the figures are the way they are.
But
I can't personally
No.
attest to the 100% accuracy of what I'm saying. That's my assumption.
Yeah, the numbers are way off. Do you know if the Cape Cod Commission accepted this memo?
No, I don't know.
How do we find out?
I would assume,
I will ask.
my hope would be, John, and the board, that when the board requested and Mashpee Commons has gotten further along through the development agreement process, that will be responded to by the commission in kind.
So I think we should ask the commission now, because there are traffic counting equipment out around town.
yeah, I see that. That's,
I think we should ask them now if the traffic study is going on right now, and if they accepted this proposal in this memo. I think this memo was written at a time when the square footages were very different than what was presented to us.
this looks like
And
an
we don't
old,
want the applicant to pay for a traffic study that they're gonna have to redo, because they're extremely expensive. So we really should find out if this was the applicant's submission, right? This is dated January 2021. We should find out if the Cape Cod Commission accepted these parameters.
but if they did, then it's not a favor for the town of Mashpee, because these numbers look so small, and if what they build, what they want to build, it looks like it won't be as bad. I mean, if they do numbers today, just today, it took me from 1:30 to come to the Rotary, 42 minutes. And it was like 11 o'clock.
That's when we had the crash.
Let's talk.
You know, I mean.
Crash
so-
over 1:30 and 28.
Well,
so
I was looking at the
traffic was messed
DRI for South Cape, it's 160,000 square feet, that was the traffic study, and there was more intersections than this had in it.
Right.
And and Mashpee Commons is, the proposal to expand it is bigger than South Cape. So I think we need to contact the Cape Cod Commission, find out if this parameter was accepted, and ask them why the number is so much different than ours. Because I think that the town should make sure that if we're gonna have a bylaw with a certain square footage, like we had with the presentation, that the traffic study is done for that number of units and that area of commercial square footage.
I think Evan hit the nail on the head, that they just kind of guessed, so to speak. And
Well, they
I-
don't
I-
have to
and I-
guess now.
Yeah, but I mean, I have no problem with actually submitting a letter requesting information. I think if we
That's
could,
fine.
Evan could draft one
That's
and
fine.
submit it by the board would be great.
That's fine.
With the board's consensus, happy to do it. And again, the memo as submitted was as Mary alluded to, the original application package. My assumption is that staff has come back to them with a number of comments. And if what we're asking them for is did the commission accept these parameters? If not, what were the questions, and what else has the commission asked the Commons to provide to substantiate the numbers provided in that initial filing? Does that sound reasonable to put in writing and request from the board?
Good.
And also if the traffic study is happening now.
And yeah, I actually don't know what the traffic counters are. I thought
I
it
was
might-
trying to find out
I
myself, I
wasn't
don't
sure if it
know.
was for the rotary retrofit or something
Oh,
else.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
could be, so,
Could be the 151.
My
It
friend-
could be the 151
But
corridor. or
I'm
whatever.
happy to put that in writing and submit to the Cape Cod.
A friend of mine
Fine.
was last week in Falmouth when the senator came down, Elizabeth Warren, and because he called me up, he goes, hey, the state's giving you money to do the Rotary. And he said, plus 151. And I says, oh, I didn't know the state was giving us money for the Rotary. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been 3 years ago. I was part of that group.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
it
so
Ed
the
went
money-
through, that's a
The
tip.
money's there now.
Well, I don't know if the money's
Well-
there, but I know I was part of the group that's studying that
And the Rotary
modification.
itself is a state layout, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So the
Correct.
state is
Yeah.
funding a project for their own layout.
Correct.
Yes.
That's why the grasses get cut.
Okay,
Again, I have, I believe, a firm grasp on what the request is of the commission, and I will put that in writing and submit by the end of the week.
thank you.
All right, thank you.
Good. Anything else?
Can I go now? I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.